guys, it's Jilly. Welcome back to my channel, and today we're gonna be talking belly button piercings. This wasn't my first piercing, by the way. I have 3 on my earlobe, and I was just ready for something different because I didn't want to do my helix yet, so therefore I got my belly button pierced. So today I'm going to be going over some things that I wish I knew before getting a belly button piercing at 14. But first thing, disclaimer, my parents let me get this. I've had these piercings in my ears forever. I've had 3 of them, and I was super set on this belly button piercing, so they let me get it. That's something that I honestly suggest. If you are set on this, make sure like you're really set on it, because once you pierce it, even though the hole will close, it won't look the same again. Number 1, taking care of it after I got it done. So obviously you want to keep your belly button piercing clean. I suggest the like contact solution stuff, like the clean stuff, so you know you're not putting like hand sanitizer on it, you're not just wiping it down with the water or anything. You need to look it up, find what you think will be best for you, and find ways to clean out your belly button piercing. Even though it is really hard not to, and I'm guilty of it myself, try not to pick off the scabs around it. It's gonna scab up, because it's a new hole in your body, it's gonna be kind of gross, but I promise you guys, the less you pick at it, the quicker it will heal. And on the topic of healing, don't change your ring until like 6 months after. I made that mistake. I freaked out. It was kind of hard to get it back in, but please do not change your belly button ring until 6 months after you have it pierced. Also, the first 2 weeks that you have your belly button piercing, you should not swim in any pools, any ocean, anything like that. Don't take baths, because that just helps get bacteria into it, which was like really tough for me, because you have to think about the time of the year that you're getting the belly button piercing, because if you're getting it the first week of summer, that's gonna suck. Speaking of summer, something that's kind of weird and people don't think about, you have tan lines from your belly button ring, and obviously unless you like remove it or change it with a smaller piercing, then you won't really see it. But my stomach is really tan, and then my belly button is bright white. I wish I knew to be more careful about like the stuff that I wear. So for example, Lululemon leggings, Lululemon shorts, jeans, anything that it can like get caught on and snag, it's the most unpleasant experience. I haven't had my belly button piercing torn out. Thank God. I do all-star cheer, and I haven't had it torn out yet, and I haven't torn it out accidentally with anything else, but it definitely is a little bit like once you get caught on something, like it's a little bit shocking. It doesn't really hurt, it's just more uncomfortable. Speaking of sports, if you do a sport, please be mindful of when your season starts, when your season ends, all that kind of stuff, and if you're willing to take it in and out all the time. Personally for me, I use the clear surgical grade like navel piercings, and that's what I do for my sport, but I can't have in my metal ring all the time, because not only is it dangerous for me, but it's dangerous for other people to have it in case it gets caught on something, snagged on something. So you have to be like prepared to take it in and out throughout your sport. And especially don't get it at the beginning of the season, because it's going to be fresh and it's going to be new, and then you're just going to have to put band-aids over it, and it's kind of going to look silly. So yeah, I wouldn't suggest getting it then. Even after a year of having it, taking it on and off for cheer is honestly a hassle, and changing it out, and I wish I knew that before. Next thing about a belly button piercing is make sure you know if you're like allergic to fake metals or not. I made that mistake. I got some belly button piercings off of Amazon. They were not the right type of metal. They weren't sterling silver, so it really inflamed like the holes that I have from the belly button piercing, and it just wasn't a fun experience, because after it heals, like you just want it to be done. As I said earlier, keep in mind that once you get the belly button piercing, it'll never look the same with it out. Now, when I look at myself without the belly button piercing, oh my god, it looks cursed. This is what my belly button looks like in, and this is what it looks like without it. So I have this little hole up here on the top, so it naturally will stay like this now. It'll have a little hole in it, and then there's also a hole underneath, which I'm not sure if you guys can see, but there's a hole underneath as well, so it can go through. So if you guys were wondering, taking the jewelry and putting it back through isn't painful at all. I can barely feel it. So just as I said there, taking it in and out is not painful. I get that question a lot at school when like I clean it or anything like that. Like when I first got it and I cleaned it at school, people would ask me if it's painful to take it in and out. No, it is not painful. I don't feel anything. It's like putting an earring in your ear. I think my third piercing on my ear was more painful than my belly button piercing, so it's really like on a scale, doesn't hurt. And finally, if you guys are wondering about the process of like how you get your belly button pierced, I have a whole video on that, but I will explain it really quickly because in that video I don't think I explained it. I'll link it down below so you guys can actually see like the live process of me going and getting my belly button pierced. And finally, please, for the love of your own health, go to a jeweler, go to someone that does tattoos and piercings that you trust. Please ask people around you where they got theirs done. That's how I found out where I was gonna go get mine. Make sure the place has good reviews, make sure it's clean. Like, if it doesn't look right, leave, because it won't look right once you get it. You'll probably be more likely to get infected. And please make sure you're a piercer. Make sure you have the right type of belly button to get a belly button piercing. I cannot stress this enough. I didn't even know this before I got my belly button pierced, but there is a type of belly button where you cannot get it pierced because there simply isn't the right anatomy for the needle, and your body will most likely reject it. Some people have to get a floating navel, which is just on the skin above their belly button. It doesn't actually like sit in their belly button because of the type of body, the type of belly button that they have. So please do your research before you go get it done, because that would be the most disappointing thing, to go to a piercing shop and get everything notarized and signed, and then you find out that you don't have the right anatomy to get the belly button piercing. But yeah, so that's all the things that I wish I knew before I got my belly button piercing at 14. I mean, obviously, if you want the piercing, get the piercing, go for it. It's honestly my favorite one that I have. As I said, this is my 7th one. I'm planning on getting a couple more and even some tattoos soon, so I'll definitely make videos on that. But yeah, that is my experience. If you guys enjoyed, please go down below and hit the subscribe button and turn on my post notifications, and let me know down below if you're gonna get your belly button pierced, or if you got your belly button pierced and what was your experience. Anyways, I'll see you guys on the next one.